Hey guys, JollyGM here, and not really making a stream. Um, we just finished our session there, session 9 of our current 2D20 Conan game, and I'm getting ready to go back to work now for the next 3 weeks. So I don't stream or anything while I'm away. I'm in a pretty remote location for that time, but just here, and I know I just kind of just something I kind of wanted to say, and I'm trying to up my own game when it comes in a personal level when it comes to telling stories in the role playing. So I think I just wanted to give a shout out to my players, and just wanted to mention that I really do appreciate getting the game with these guys. I've been gaming with a lot of them now, or a few of them now for the last couple of years. But in this last campaign now, um, we've had I got about 6 players, 7 or 8 if you add the ones that can make it and when they can and cannot. But I really do enjoy writing adventures for these guys, for this group. I really like it. So what I'm asking, or what I guess I just want to say thanks, and it makes me wonder sometimes about how gaming is important in a different way. Not many people get us gamers, and you know, but for me, it's a really creative outlet, and it's important. I think it's important to have these outlets, and I'm just trying to, like I said, trying to up my game, and I'm trying to get people's feedback and responses, and to watch my streams to tell me what makes a good stream good. I'm only just really now starting to take my streaming seriously. I got a long ways to go. I look at a lot of other people out there that I'm following, and there's some professionals that I'm following as well, and they make it look so easy. And I'm just Joe Blow here, and I'm just trying to get started into doing some interesting storytelling. I guess for me, the reason why I think gaming is important, especially when it comes to role playing, is that for all ages, it teaches people a lot of different things. It teaches people how to interact, and that's the standard stuff. That's um, it's the standard way we all think when it comes to interacting, and it helps us with problem solving and how to work together as a team. And I've been gaming my whole entire life, ever since I was a kid. I'm a fairly old guy now. I'm not on these spring chickens, as they would say. Um, but I've gamed with a lot of different people and a lot of different groups of people, and not every group is good. Not every one gets along. It has the same idea, I guess, when it comes to what gaming is and what's important. But for me, my gaming is about getting to know the players themselves as well. I think it's important as a GM, when you're trying to tell a story, is you want to listen to your players as well. It's not just your own story. It's everyone. It's all your players. It's the GM. It's the players. Everyone has input into this adventure, and it's our job as a GM to listen to our players and to get the little tidbits that they're trying to express, because every player in their own mind has their idea of what's happening, and they have their own story, and they all have their own little backgrounds, which is great. And some people put a lot of effort into their backgrounds, and I find that if you get a lot of buy-in from your players, is to get elements of their backgrounds and their stories into their games and get them involved. Get their backgrounds involved into your story as well. And one of the things I find I really enjoy, and I do it a lot, is I listen to the players as they're progressing, as they're talking back and forth in character and also out of character. And I'm always taking notes. I always have these journals here, and this is my Conan journal here right now. And it's actually, that's not the real one. That's my second one. But I got it filled with different notes and different tidbits that I hear the players talking about. And I'm just trying to find some of the stuff here now. You know, I got like this is just some stories now of some of the encounters that the players have talked about in their own little backgrounds. And what I've done, I've taken those ideas and I've written mini adventures for a lot of them. And over the progress of time, I'm planning on having our planning on integrating those stories and those characters, those NPCs that they've created into the adventure. It works well sometimes. Sometimes it can go really bad, but I've had more success with it than failure, I guess. But it's important that you do it in small bits, just enough to get the. If you try to make it too big apart, it overrides the story for your other players. So you got to find the balance between just enough to catch an individual player, to get them interested, and you kind of every game or so you try to get a tidbit and pass it around to the different players. And I find by doing that, not only do the story that I write as a GM advance, but the players' stories for their characters also advance, and each player gets a chance to really enjoy it. So as a GM, it's really important and a really good tip, I think, to listen to your players around the table. Now, of course, there's different styles of role-playing. Everyone out there is different, and there's not one way that's better than others. So let's just kind of fix this up a bit. So there's different ways. There's no bad way as doing it, because if it works for you and it works for your players, then that's perfect. You can't argue with that. But I do find that it's important that for me in my games that I get the players involved, and to do that, you listen to them and you write in the little tidbits of their own table talk and their own character interactions into the bigger story, and you find that you have a big payoff. And that's the difference where it comes to me. I try to keep my games in character at all times, and I try to emphasize the storytelling aspect as opposed to just rolling dice. Some people want to play role-playing games like they would like regular video role-playing games, maybe. And other people want to get in and they really do like in-depth characters. It's almost like they're acting, and if they could act, that's what they would be doing. And that's really good. But you got to find the balance between storytelling, obviously, and gameplay as well. And to do that, I think it's best to listen to the players. So another thing I want to talk about is the after a session. When you have a game, whether it's online, which I do primarily all my games online, using Fantasy Grounds. But whether you're online or over a real table, if you're in a serious group that you've been playing quite a bit, it's always good to have a little discussion after the game about the game, about ways of wondering how certain things could work or what could be better. And you get all the players talking about it, and it's not a shit on the GM session, or it's not a shit on the players session. It's more of a just to discuss about the good things and the bad things, and just to see how things can get a little bit better, because it's always about improving. If the moment you think that you can't improve, that you've reached that level that you can't improve anymore, you've actually you're selling yourself a lot shorter than what you think. And you need always to keep listening and keep learning, I think. And that's just my own personal opinion there. But I enjoy playing my games online. For me, the type of lifestyle that I live in, my working methods, I travel a lot for work, and I'm away in remote areas, so I don't have access to the internet other than just scattered chat or email. So I don't have access to video streaming and stuff where I am. So my games run in 3 week increments. I'm at home for 3 weeks, so every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, I stream and I play my games, and then throughout the week I do my normal stuff. But then I go away for 3 weeks, and while I'm away, I do a lot of my writing and a lot of my brainstorming then about what's going to happen in the next couple of times that I'm home. So another thing when it comes to writing for those GMs out there, it's good to talking from my own experiences now. Now again, everyone else is different, but it's good when you to take notes and just to jot down your basic ideas that you come up with. And they're not usually, you don't have to come up with big in-depth stories, but you have as a GM, you tend to thinking about what you can do on your next adventure or what some of the encounters the people could be. And the style that I've kind of grown into over the years is I base my stories on encounters, and I have in my head certain scenarios that I would like to see the characters try to deal with or overcome. So by doing that, once I have a bunch of once I have several ideas that I kind of want to run with, I build my adventures around those ideas with the background and how to get the characters there. And I have several ideas because, as always, not all characters go right. When sometimes they go left, and they can really throw you a curveball sometimes. So you kind of got to be a little bit flexible. Anyway, this is just me kind of rambling. But tonight's session I really enjoyed. In the previous stream there, session 9 of my 2D20 Conan campaign. Dreams of Darkness is the title. But not all the sessions got to be combat related too. Now, this also comes to another group style of player too. Some players, they want nothing to do but roll dice and do the whole murder hobo thing. But for my groups, from my storytelling, I try to get story elements in there as well. So it's good sometimes to have those sessions where combat is not the forefront of things that you got to overcome. Sometimes it's more of building the story and tying certain loose ends together. In tonight's session, the characters learned that a few of the individuals that they met tonight were tied to individuals that they work for that they met several sessions ago, and there's a little bit of a link that they're starting to piece together now. I don't want to give away too much because they may actually watch this, but it's good to tie in those background stories. So yeah, I'm enjoying GMing. I'm really enjoying the stream, and I appreciate the people that do follow me and that have sent me some messages and questions. I appreciate it, and I hope that going forward that I can really make this an enjoyable show. I know there's a lot of different streamers out there, and some of them are really fancy, but I feel in my own mind, I guess, nobody just wants to see and hear, I don't know, I want to make the game unique for them to watch and easy for them to watch, because I've tried to sit down and watch many game sessions, and within the first 20 minutes, you might as well forget it, because you're just tired, because you're not actually playing the game. You're kind of just listening to it in the background. So I'm trying to make a stream that when it comes to our games, that when you're watching it or just listening to it in the background, it's more of you guys listening to a story as opposed to the actual gameplay. It's going to be difficult. I'm learning, but I don't want to. For a short time, I was taking our games and then I was editing. Man, I can't even speak right now. Editing them later, and I found that that's really time consuming. Plus, where I'm only around for a couple of weeks at a time, that editing takes a lot of time to do that, and I want my games to be captured raw and real the way they are, and you can actually catch the players laugh when they laugh, and you can hear this table talk on the side, and I want to make it like a fun session to drop in and listen to. So for any of the few viewers out there that actually watch my stream from beginning to end, I think there's only been one or two people that's done that. Uh, First of all, thanks. But for everyone else, I'm trying to make it so you guys can sit in on my streams. You can see exactly the current setting, the current NPCs that are in the session so far as the players. And I'm just going to see if this works. But I'm just going to bring it up here. Let's see if I'm going to change my screen here. Now, we got these black portions on the side of the screen. That is because there's no Fantasy Grounds running in the background. And just let me bring it up here, and I'll get it working all together. I find it sad because I do have to go away. I really do miss that interaction I do have with my players while I'm gone. For me, it's a great form of relief, I guess you can say. It's a great way to relax for me. I find writing the stories and interacting with the players a lot of fun for me. And I like playing RPGs as well, but I really do enjoy being given the chance of telling stories to players and getting them to be involved with my ideas, because to me it's a privilege to do that, you know. Anyway, so what you see here in the top left hand corner, right above the chat window there, that is where you're going to see who are talking. And right now I'm currently using Discord, but I'm just using, it just shows a list of names, and I gotta figure out a way to fix that, because what I want to get is have the images of my players to show up in that area so everyone can see who's talking right away. Below that is the dice string, or the dice area. So this is where if we want to make a character roll, we can get them to roll the dice here, and everything shows up there. Of course, you have your Doom pit, and this is where you can track the Doom left and right, how things goes up and down. But more importantly, is it to the right and the center of the screen here. I got your couple of boxes here, and what shows here is the current settings that the players have been experiencing and the NPCs that they're interacting with. So as I'm running a game, I'll be adding pictures to this to help set up the atmosphere of the game. So my players don't see this. They see what I'm showing on Fantasy Grounds. So this is kind of done outside for the viewers' benefits. And I'm hoping to make it so you guys can come in and look at the stream and listen to the story, but in a brief few seconds that you can watch the slideshows of the different images of the NPCs that you're seeing and the setting and the scene that you're involved in. You can get that, and you can catch the images in your head of what I'm trying to portray to the players. That way, in a matter of a few minutes, you got the idea. You don't have to sit down and watch, you know, a pile of different, junk on the screen. Oh, now you see it, and you constantly see what's happening and what's changing. So we'll see how that works. Oh, in the bottom right hand corner is where I keep my face rig that I'm using. So yeah, I'm just trying to have some fun with it too. But I do want to have, like everyone's, for the viewers that are out there, I do want your opinions on things. I want to hear how I want to hear what you think, and so feel free to leave your comments. I appreciate it. And like I said, I want to learn. And the only way for me to do this and to make this a good show is to get your feedback. So please feel free to leave comments, or let me know. And I guess I'm on Twitter. So if you guys wanted to get a hold of me on Twitter, you can certainly there, and just give me the updates there, or give me your critiques. Really appreciate it. Now, I know that Twitch, it only keeps the games online for so long and then they get rid of it. So I also keep track of all my own games over on YouTube as well. And you can look for the JollyGM over on YouTube, and you can find my playlist there. And you can certainly watch all my older videos there. And you can see over the last couple of years, I guess, the change in how I'm doing it. Usually it's just been the raw information of the of Fantasy Grounds. But again, nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to see me going through charts or checking rules and all that stuff. People want to see stuff with the game. So again, go over there, have a look if you want, and tell me what you think. Again, I do appreciate the feedback. So I've been getting some feedback in the last little while about mainly from my players and a few of the people that visit me on Discord to let me know how they do things. So you guys are important to me for the show because I really want to get into storytelling, and that's what I'm trying to do. And there's no sense in telling stories if I don't have people to listen to the stories, right? So I appreciate that. So, last going off before I leave, and this will be my last stream, obviously, before I go back to work now for the next 3 weeks. I want to, the one last tip I want to say is always keep notes of what your players are saying and doing throughout the games. And when you're doing that, taking my advice from the beginning, is to write that stuff into your adventures and use little tidbits of it to get your players hooked on it. And that way the game becomes personal to the player and the characters, and it just adds to an overall enjoyment. But guys, I got a lot of respect for a lot of the other streamers out there that do role-playing games. It can't be easy, and I'm already learning that it's difficult. But I'm going to learn, and I want to make this the best possible show I possibly can. So without that, I need you guys to be honest with me and to tell me if this sucks or if it doesn't suck or what I can do to make things better. But other than that, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this stream. And again, feedback's important. You guys look out there, keep rolling dice, listen to your players, use what they talk about in your games, and that'll make a remarkable improvement in overall enjoyment from everyone. I can guarantee you. Again, guys, you can check me out at the my blog at the jollygm.blogspot.ca. I'm also over on YouTube, so just look for the JollyGM playlist. JC Locke, I do believe, is my username there. And yeah, and you can check out all my videos there. Anyway, guys, you keep easy, stay well, stay safe, look after yourselves, and feel free to drop me a line anytime. Always looking for players, and I'm always playing different systems, so I enjoy telling stories. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. You guys have a good night. And with that, I'll close things off.